Yo, Wellness Posse, Ali Waddell here with my girl Cristi. It's Wellness Posse Wednesday again, and we are in this, where do you think we are? We're in a PT's office, of course, because no normal person has this on their wall. So, Wellness Posse Wednesday, we're here to elevate the conversation around what real wellness means, from quick fixes to lasting transformation. Me and Cristi actually met in the Society of Austin Women Entrepreneurs. Doesn't that sound fancy? But it's a really amazing... Just kidding. Hold on. Technical difficulties. Our stuff is breaking. Okay, let's try this again. Sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties. So as I was saying, we're here with Wellness Posse Wednesday, and Cristi's going to talk about what her PT business is all about. We're going to talk about dry needling. We're going to talk about how she got here. So let's just start. Why don't you introduce yourself to the Wellness Posse?
Hey everybody, my name's Cristi Cuellar. I'm originally from McAllen, Texas, Far, Texas, but I've been living in Austin for a long time. I've been a physical therapist 13 years and been in the fitness and wellness industry for a long time as well.
So where do you work right now? Where are we? We're normally in my place, and so obviously people will notice we're not in my place. Actually, we are at Cristi's workplace.
We are at Oubre Medical. It looks like Oubre, O-U-B-R-E. But he's a functional medicine doctor, and I'm the in-house physical therapist. I also see my own patients on days when I'm not working with him. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, here in Westlake, Austin.
Yeah. So Philip was actually on Wellness Posse Wednesday probably about a month, 6 weeks ago. We'll link to that video. But he's a fantastic functional medicine doctor. I actually came to shoot a video with him today, and I've been wanting to have Cristi on the show for probably like 6 months. So she's finally on the show. Hooray! Because she's very busy seeing her own clients and then Philip's clients and the office's clients as well. So how did you get interested in physical therapy? What kind of took you on this road to wellness?
So in 10th grade, I was a cheerleader, and I fell off a stunt, and I tore my ACL. Oh. And it was so horrible, but that's how I discovered what a physical therapist was.
Yeah.
I knew, all about working out, but I didn't know there was a specific workout to rehabilitate your knee. So
yeah, that
interested me a lot. And then went to PT school. It was great. I went to Baylor for undergrad, and then I went to Texas State for grad school. And since then, I've just been so interested in the body and how the body works, and muscles, and how it grows, and why it shrinks, and why someone gets an injury, and why the injury stays chronic. And it's just fascinating to me to see how people heal and what other things affect their healing.
Yeah. I was so interested when we were doing the getting ready for this interview. I have everybody kind of fill out these pre-interview questions. And I have not known Cristi for very long. We've probably known each other maybe 8 months. But I didn't know that you kind of got into the bodybuilding figure lifestyle. Yeah. What a gun show! So, as you know, I'm very into lifting weights and, looking and feeling your best physically. Why did you decide to do that, and kind of how did you feel like that experience has shaped your ideas around fitness and wellness?
So, I've always been into looking and feeling good. When I began traveling physical therapy, I moved to Las Vegas.
Oh, how fancy.
Yes. People think like it's impossible to live there, but it was like the best experience as a physical therapist.
Was it? Yeah.
But while I was there, yes, like you go out all the time, you're eating like crap, you drink all night, the next day you're like drinking up coffee, and I had this vicious cycle of unhealthy ways. And one of my coworkers was she did like personal training in our physical therapy clinic.
Okay.
And she was training for one, and I just remember I was just like, I've always wanted to do that. I asked her if we could work together. She gave me a plan. I did it like perfectly for 3 months and did my first competition. I just kind of like dared myself to do it because I wanted to be as fit as possible because I thought being fit would make me healthy. And I did the competition, and you know, I also realized that I was so scared to like stand in a bikini. I was like, I always wore shirts on top of my bathing suit and never really like let anybody see my butt cheeks or anything. And then, man, walking on stage just like wipes everything out. I like stood in front and like you have to pose front ways, back ways. They even asked me a question, and I don't know if you'd believe it, but I won. And so after that, amazing. It was good. It was fun. And then after that, got a bunch of other like fitness model opportunities, and it was great. I did see the way that my body transformed by just eating a clean diet, and I looked amazing. And I was like, I can't believe that this is working. And I took some supplements, like natural supplements, and it worked. But after a while, it just like started getting a little stressful because I was trying to balance like having the perfect physique with doing my full-time physical therapy thing, and I was in a relationship, so I was like trying to be a good girlfriend, and after a while it was just a little too much. And I don't know if you've heard other stories.
What year was that? When was that?
So my first time was like 2007, and I said I think I did like 2 a year. I did Fitness America, and then later I did NPC, and I was like 2 places away from going pro or whatever. But it was from 2007 to 2011.
Okay. What made you decide to kind of veer off of that? Did you just want more balance in your life, or did you see any? Well,
I got freaking sick. Around 2010, I know that I was like trying to do all this stuff, and I got sick like 6 times, and I went to different doctors. Like, just because my schedule wouldn't permit, so I'd go to this doctor and he gave me antibiotics, and I'd go to another one. I ended up taking antibiotics 6 times in 1 year, and I took the strong stuff. So I just never felt the same after that. When I moved back to Austin, I came across a doctor that took the time to like listen, and she, you know, asked a bunch of other questions, and she did a lot of tests, and I found out I had celiac disease, and I found out I had leaky gut as well, or they were kind of correlated. My hormones were totally crazy. Lots of food allergies, and so that was like the beginning of the wellness journey. So then I started doing those things to help me, and then I also could tell or understood that I had some like emotional stuff to get over. And so since then I've done like lots of meditation and yoga, and even like meditation circles and emotional coaching too, to just try to balance out, because health is just not one thing.
No. As I always talk about, kind of my pyramid is mental health, and then nutritional health, and then physical health. And you want to do all of them, of course, all the time. But really, if the mental aspect has crumbled, it's really hard to do the other 2 correctly. And if you're not taking care of yourself nutritionally, physically, and mentally, you're probably not doing well either. Did you find that the mental things that you were struggling with, do you feel like they were causal because of the figure competitions, or did you feel like maybe you went into the figure competitions because of them, or did you get any kind of negative or positive aspects from those from the competitions mentally?
So are you asking if mentally I was exhausted, or did they cause a mental exhaustion?
Was it the chicken or the egg?
Okay.
Like, do you go into those? I speak from this from a real place. As everybody knows in the Wellness Posse, I struggled with an eating disorder for 15 years. And when I had kind of gotten it in check, is what I say, kind of gotten back on health, I was kind of larger than I had been in a long time, and I thought doing a figure competition would be the perfect way to get myself back in shape. And so I started looking into maybe doing one myself. And interestingly, I was trying to hire an online coach, like an online person that could really refine my diet and my workouts to help me be successful. And I found it very interesting. In the first 5 questions of all 3 of their intake forms was, do you have or have you ever struggled from an eating disorder? And that is because people that are prone to eating disorders go into figure competitions because it is a communally not only supported but communally cheered on form of eating disorder in my mind. I know very few people that can control their food intake at that level and it not have long-term effects on how they are functioning mentally and how they see themselves. I've worked with a number of women post-competition that they see themselves in that perfect shape and 2 to 3 to 5 years later can never let go that is possible, even though it was only possible for 3 days. Like, that physique really is not sustainable long-term, and it's not healthy long-term, but they're so latched on to that image of themselves at perfection level that they have a very hard time coming to terms with what their normal, healthy body actually looks like.
Yeah.
Did you feel that at all?
So you're always kind of like healthy, like maybe around the way I look now, like 4 weeks out, and then they give you a really restrictive diet from 4 weeks, and then 2 weeks, and then that last week, when you see people step on the stage, they are so hungry. They haven't even like drank very much water, and so even if they look ripped or bigger or whatever, they are so malnourished at that time. But you know what I noticed is that I numbed myself out. Like, you know, you're trying to do this whole rigid plan and you forget if you're hungry because you're hungry and you just like suppress it. Nope, can't eat right now. I have to like wait 30 more minutes for my next meal. Like you have to stay on that rigid plan. And after that, like, you know, you don't even know if you're hungry or not, but you just want to stuff your face, and then you're not on a plan anymore. So then people binge out and they eat all these like cheat foods, but those are like very, very inflammatory. And so what I've noticed is like people in the industry, their weight goes up and down, and it's just horrible. And the body can't stay, women's bodies can't stay at like 5% body fat or whatever.
It's not healthy. It might look great for that one snippet of a second, but
I know. And they also like had lots of spray tan on, like lots of spray tan.
It is so weird to see those people in person because when you see them under the lights in the photos, you're like, oh yeah, they look tan. If you have ever been at a figure or a fitness competition and looked at the people, they are I mean, they're like, monogamy was not the word I was going for. What's that word name that I can't think of?
They just don't look.
They're so dark. They're literally like so dark. It is the craziest thing you've ever seen in your life.
I know. So
do you feel like you've gotten like has everything kind of bounced back now? Years later?
That's a great question.
Like physically wise, like have your hormones rebalanced? Do you feel like your leaky gut is in check and all of that has
I still tend to have a perfectionist attitude. I wouldn't say I developed an eating disorder, but I was off with like knowing when I was hungry and when I was not. I also, every morning I woke up like, I need to do cardio. Like that happened. Like I swear for like a whole year after that. And what it's called now is adrenal dysfunction. And Dr. Oubre and a lot of other functional doctors address that, and that is just like an imbalance of your adrenals and your cortisol and your thyroid, and leaky gut happens a lot. So everything's a lot better, but you know, I have to make sure I surround myself with loving friends and that I balance my time well, because if I go into overdrive again, I tend to
burn out pretty fast.
Yeah. But it's kind of like a blessing.
Your body checks real fast.
Yeah.
So let's get into like what you do now, because I'm super excited to kind of share all the different therapies that you use. So what would a typical, number one, do you have a typical client that comes to you? Let's just talk about your personal practice.
Okay.
Apart from, because Dr. Oubre actually hilariously, when we first started talking, was like, I thought maybe only like 10% of my clients would need Cristi. He's like, pretty much everybody needs Cristi.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, but let's talk about kind of your general patients. Who would come to you and why would they come to you?
So I've been a physical therapist for so long, and I've worked at so many different clinics that accept insurance, and the patient's like, oh, I have no copays or whatever. Well, the insurance reimbursement is becoming horrible.
Yeah.
So the stress at work got more and more stressful, and so that has kind of pushed me into getting my own practice started.
Yeah.
And so I've always been working on my skills more and more and more. And so I was like, I want to be so good that people will pay me cash. Yeah. And that's what I'm going towards. And people will do it.
Ta-da!
Yeah. Usually physical therapists only spend like maybe 15 to maybe 30 minutes with their patients, and then they have technicians or assistants work with them, and they're not like one-on-one with the patient. And I love that I now get to be one-on-one with the patient. I'm with them for almost an hour. Yeah. And you know, there's corrective exercise, there's massage, there's manual therapy, there's ultrasound, there's super fancy e-stem. But recently I've gotten certified in dry needling. Yeah. And that has been so amazing. It is the only thing that works. It's the only thing that works like within 2 days. Yeah. I've seen so many more patients that are like, oh my gosh, I wasn't able to move my neck this way. I've never been able to do this, and now I can. And they're returning back to sport, and their performance is a lot better.
Yeah. So exciting. Cristi's actually going to do dry needling on me live on Facebook. We're going to talk about it a little more while she's doing it, because I think it's a really interesting therapy. I had never done this before up until maybe 2 months ago, when somebody suggested it when I injured my shoulder, and I was just would not recover as fast. And I had it done, and it is really crazy, amazing, and very weird, and a little scary for people.
Oh, I know.
So it involves needles, hence the name, dry needling. But it basically is a form of acupuncture, right? It's not a form of acupuncture. It's like acupuncture. No. It uses acupuncture needles.
Yes.
So I got that one right.
That's why I have this image right here and that image right there.
Okay.
I'm not an acupuncturist, and I'm not trying to do acupuncture, and all my acupuncture friends actually are kind of like, you shouldn't be doing that. This is a form of physical therapy. Okay. And it's dry needling is not, you don't only get that. It's a physical therapy modality, and it's the way that I address the trigger points that have developed along your body. Okay. If you come in and both of your shoulders hurt, and your knee hurts, and your back hurts, there'd be like a red flag wave right there. I'd want to know maybe something deeper that's going on. And it's so awesome that I work here at a functional medicine clinic right next to him, because we refer, back and forth, and I'd have maybe refer to Dr. Oubre, because maybe something deeper is going on, like an autoimmune condition.
Maybe there's a systemic issue happening with inflammation or gut response or something.
Right. So I use the same needles, but I'm addressing your trigger points. Okay. Yeah. It does kind of make you like a little high, because it releases a bunch of chemicals. So patients sleep like really well after. But yeah, pretty different. Okay. And so you told me that you had a little issue going on with your leg or ankle.
Yeah, so I had, when I lived in California a number of years ago, I had plantar fasciitis for a year that would not, like chronic pissed off heel action. If nobody's had plantars, it's like the most annoying thing, because it hurts basically every step. And most of the time now, if I'm really good about my mobility exercise, I'm doing all my corrective stuff, and I don't go out gangbusters running like with no lead up, my foot is pretty good. I've been starting to go back into running, and I have a really hard time taking my own advice and baby stepping back in. I'm like, fuck it, I can run 4 miles a day every day for 5 days in a row. Why not? I haven't run in a month. So I ran a little too much last week, and I was busy and kind of cut back on some of my mobility. So just like yesterday, I just started now when I just barely start to feel it, I like, oh, don't let it go. Okay. So I start to get it. So I told her she could work on my calf and my...
Okay, so let's, for educational purposes, she's volunteered to allow me to dry needle her.
Yes.
And, okay, so questions. You're not on any blood thinners.
No.
You don't have like an infectious disease right now.
No.
Because I just asked that because it can like spread infection if there is. And then scared of needles, or if you're really like scared, stressed out person, it can kind of make you faint or something.
Okay.
But
no,
you're
I'm good.
good.
I'm good with needles. I'm good with...
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's try this. All right,
Okay.
so let's bring...
You're gonna see my foot? Oh, hold on. We're going to move the camera now. Just a little, just so everybody can see it. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, here we go.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so lift this up.
Okay.
Alrighty. Okay, I'm going to use hand sanitizer really quick. Actually, I'm going to get gloves.
This is a new thing. We've never actually had anybody do anything to me on the show.
I'm so glad.
This is fun. I think this is super fun. So what, why dry needling? Like, where did you hear about it, and why did you...
Well, one time, while I was working in Las Vegas, this therapist named Jeff dry needled my thigh. So I have really tight IT bands and really tight hip flexors. And even in cheerleading, I was never able to do a split. But like, he dry needled me, and after that, I was able to do a split. And I was like, what? Like,
he's like, that didn't make any sense.
I know. So, it's a modality that has not been reimbursed well by physical therapists, like by insurance. So not a lot of physical therapists are doing it, but now, I don't know, we're figuring it out, and it's becoming more and more used because it works so efficiently, and because so many people are like tighter. Like, I just see so many people with tightness, like they're just not releasing their energy or whatever. So I love keeping up with the best stuff, and so that's why I do it.
Where did you get your certification?
The certification was here in Austin, and it was our clinic, Endeavor Physical Therapy, a place that I work at, PRN. They sponsored it. Oh, cool. But it was by hands-on seminars, and my teacher was Bill. And if you're watching, thank you. All right. So, before we would do her evaluation, I would do a range of motion exercise or range of motion test, and I'd also look at her shoes. Were you running in these shoes?
No. Okay. No. These are my walk-around shoes.
These Nike Frees that everybody thinks are so cute, they're the worst things to run in.
Yeah, I don't run in these. These are not my running shoes. Okay. These are my walk-around shoes.
So I'm going to needle 2 muscles, and then I'm going to hook it up to some electrical stimulation to the needles. She'd probably need more muscles worked today, but today we'll just do one.
We'll just do a demo. Yeah.
Ooh, can they see?
I think they can. Okay. Yeah, it's just dark on the screen.
Okay, so we might. So the difference between acupuncture and this is that the acupuncture needle sometimes only goes into the surface, and here we go through the muscle belly. And
doesn't that sound lovely?
Yes. And I tell all my patients they're welcome to scream, yell, say bad words, whatever. Just don't kick me. So I place it, and then I push it in a little bit more. And
I'll tell you, it doesn't feel great. I wouldn't say this is one of your the best things that's ever happened. But it's not terrible. I mean, it's not...
Is it referring down at all?
No.
Okay. Just relax your foot. There you go. Oh. So that created a twitch response. Her foot kind of went back really quick, and twitch responses are normal. That means the muscle's like, hey, don't do that. And
hey, you're sticking a needle in me.
Yeah, so it causes a
And
twitch.
Interestingly, like I started to sweat.
Which is normal.
Yeah, so like my hands just started to sweat.
So now I'm going to do your gastroc. So it's threading. Threading means it goes back and forth, back and forth.
So see, I don't know if you can see how long that thing went in my leg.
And I'm going to get your soleus. Awesome. All right, now this thing right here is a little unit that I hook up electrodes to the wires, and then the wires send in electricity, which makes the muscle jump a little bit, and that kind of depolarizes the muscle. We develop like a lot of acidity into the muscle, and this kind of like makes it twitch so much that everything flushes out, and by the end of 4 or 5 minutes, there's improvement in the muscle relaxation, or there's more muscle relaxation.
So is that the goal with this therapy, is muscle relaxation?
Yes.
Okay.
So usually when somebody develops a knot, it's like the muscle is spasmed and there's this scar tissue formation, and it's called a trigger point. And so usually like there's just a buildup of extra stuff on the fascia, and so the needle goes in and it disrupts the fascia,
so that
and then the muscle also, the muscle and the nerve kind of reset, and then the muscles relaxed. There's so many ways to explain it.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to turn it on, and we have 2 channels hooked up, and I'm going to turn on one. And right now we can probably zoom in to your leg and show everybody. So
Yeah,
it's twitching. And second channel. Oh yeah.
Whoa.
Ready. Awesome. So we'll just get a zoom in, and then so yeah, if anybody has questions, email her or me.
Yeah.
Can I take it and zoom it in?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Let's see. Let me show everybody. Whoa. Yep. See, her muscle's twitching. It's pretty strong. Feel okay? Feel okay, Allie? Where Allie? Where are you? All right, cool. So, that's it. I'll leave it on while we say bye.
Finish talking. Yeah, I got a little lightheaded. That's why I laid down.
Oh, okay. So we could cut it off from here.
No, we're good. We're good. I think I recovered. So let's go into kind of our rapid fire questions that we do at the end.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll do those while I'm sitting here getting therapy. So, I am sweating.
That's a normal response.
Yeah.
So usually, like, we don't do Facebook Live when you're here in the clinic.
No, it's great. I mean, I think it's great to see for people to see how therapies really work, and that's a very normal response that I just had. That I would lay down, I got a little flush, but that's why we're at a table. She's a professional. Nothing bad happened. I just laid down for a second just so I could catch my breath.
And it's usually only me and you in the room, and like I have relaxing music on, and you kind of prep, and I make you do some breath work, because it's kind of intense. Your muscles are like, what's going on here?
Yeah, your entire nervous system is starting to fire, and so that's really what'll kind of I mean, it'll make your whole, I mean, I'm flushing, basically. But you can tell that it's actually doing something. You're not going to walk through and say it isn't.
Yeah. She's probably sore tomorrow.
I will, yeah. So we go into the rapid fire wellness round, and here we go. What are some of your favorite kind of wellness professionals or sources, books, people, podcasts? Who would you go to? Who do you like to get information from?
So I've been involved with the Czech Institute for 4 or 5 years, and I follow them. One of my favorite teachers is Jator Pierre, and he has a YouTube channel, so I follow him. I also follow another mentor that he has named Chris Kresser, and he's a functional medicine doctor.
Chris Kresser.
He has so much information of how the gut is connected to everything. And then, of course, I follow Dr. Oubre. And if I still followed any, like, figure competitors, it would be Erin Stern. Do you know who she is?
I don't know who she is.
She was, like, a figure competitor, but she kind of came out of that industry, but you could tell she just loves exercise. And I love to see that people exercise for exercise or not exercising just to look a certain way. Yeah. And so I follow her exercise routines.
Yeah. That's fun.
Yeah.
Does she has like an online channel where she does workouts?
I haven't tuned into that, but I follow her on Instagram.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
What is your spirit animal?
A cardinal.
Oh, and she's wearing red.
I know, I love red. It's so weird. Like, I've seen red cardinals at the most random times, and then I like look up what it means, and I'm like, oh my god. It's kind of weird, but I do like cardinals.
No, I like it. What is your superpower?
I am my superpower. Like, what's yours?
Mine is either like I'm super positive and loving, or I really am a big connector. Like, I like connecting people a lot, so I kind of view that as one of my superpowers. But I'm also kind of very positive minded in general, yeah. And I'm blunt and uber honest.
I love that. Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah.
I would say that I have some superpower, like openness, and I'm a great listener, because I get random people to tell me their life story. Like, I'll be in an elevator with somebody, I'll ask, like, how was your day? And then, like, they tell me their whole life story.
Yeah.
Or, like, somebody at the grocery store. Like, people are pretty open, but
yeah.
I just think, I don't know, I'm open to it. And I love that they open up, and it makes me open up, and then we're both open, and then we both heal at the same time. And
yeah. Have you noticed, because what I call it is the shadow side, so everybody has a superpower, and a lot of times that is very positive, but that same thing that you have that's really great can also come up as kind of a shadow side in your life. So I am very honest and blunt, which is great most of the time, but I do have a hard time holding back, and sometimes I hurt people close to me because I'm so honest, and I don't mean it in that way, but I can see that I do have a shadow side to that, you know. So if you view it as like a superpower, do you see that openness? Does it ever come back to kind of bite you in the ass?
Yeah, people are really open with me, and they start telling me their story, and because I'm so open, my heart's open, I start like taking on their shit, and I guess it's called kind of like intuitive, or they call it like empath. So I start crying like on the dot, or like in that time, or like I just kind of feel their pain, and so I need to like learn to like understand and sympathize with them, but not empathize.
Yeah.
So I'm still working through that.
Yeah.
But I do love.
If you could put a saying on a t-shirt and make everybody wear it, what would you say?
A stain on the
A saying.
Oh,
like
a saying.
Like, do you have a saying like you wish everybody would think about more, or like a mantra or something like that? Or you could put it on a billboard.
Yeah. You know, it's like super basic, but breathe.
Yeah.
Breathe. I have like worked with people here that have chronic pain, and I've asked them to take a diaphragmatic breath, and they don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't take enough time for ourselves as health practitioners. And so if we took the time to breathe, like one good deep breath every hour, I would wear that. Or I would tell people to do that.
Yeah. No, and wear it so that everybody saw it.
Yes, we all need to breathe.
Yeah. What would you tell your 16-year-old self? And what do you think your 90-year-old self would tell you today?
Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. My 16-year-old self. You know, I'm really happy about the journey that I went through, but my 16-year-old self, I would tell her not to worry, and really not worry about what other people think, because the only person that matters is me, and fulfilling my own purpose, and connecting with my intuition.
Yeah.
Because your intuition is always right.
Yeah. So what do you think your 90-year-old self would tell you today?
Dude, 90-year-old self. 90-year-old self. Oh, yeah. Laugh more. Laugh more, play more. Take some time off from work. Only like within the last 6 months or the last year I've been playing more. But before that, I mean, we were talking about competitions and the perfection of being perfect, and you know, our society tells us like you need to work 40 hours or 60 hours to be better and prove to people that you're worth it, and you know, we just need to like play more and have a good balance. So
what do you think the top 3 like easiest go-to things for everybody to do that will make them healthier and happier are? Like, what are your kind of top 3 wellness tips that across the board usually help?
So I talked about breathing. The other one is water.
Yes.
Like, it's so easy, but half your body weight in ounces, that's the amount of water you need. Your muscles are made of water, your discs along your back are made of water, and you're dehydrated just a little bit, you're going to be in pain. Make your workday fun, and
how do you make your workday fun?
I have music on.
You work in a fun office, actually.
Oh yeah, we do. We always have music on, and we eat together.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and you know, if I really need to talk to somebody, I just make a phone call, but gotta break it up. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for having me today. She's gonna take these needles out of my leg at some point. Yes. You don't have to do it right now. So is there anything else that you want to share with the Wellness Posse, like what's coming up for you, how they can reach you, and then kind of any final thoughts?
Yeah. I'm just really grateful for this. I had actually had like a little bit of nervousness about being on Facebook Live. I just feel like my teeth are really big.
But she's done so good.
And if you'd like to come in for a physical therapy evaluation, you need a doctor's prescription, but you can contact me anytime here in Austin, and I'd love to work with you. Okay. And yeah, if you have any other questions about dry needling or any other wellness questions, let me know.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's take these out and I'll turn off the camera. So, as you know, every week I bring on a new wellness professional to share with y'all on Wellness Posse Wednesday. If y'all have any wellness professionals, I mean, that is like a legit needle. Yeah. That was all the way in my leg. If you have any wellness professionals that have made a big impact in your life, please comment or send me a message. Or if you're a wellness professional and you'd like to be featured on upcoming Wellness Posse, let me know. Please share this with your friends and family. And stay tuned. There's actually some new stuff coming up. I'm starting a new Facebook Live series called Fit Friend Friday, where we're going to be very similar format, but these are going to be normal, not wellness professionals that have learned how to incorporate wellness in their lives. And so how do normal people do it? Because a lot of people see us as wellness professionals and be like, well, of course, you're healthy. This is your job. But people do it in their real lives that have all kinds of careers and have kids and have busy, crazy stuff going on just like everybody. And so that new series will be starting in upcoming weeks. So I hope y'all stay tuned to that. And we'll see you next week. Thank you again, Cristi, for being a part of it.
You're welcome.
It's so good to have you finally.
Bye,
and
guys.
Wellness Posse, I'll see you next week. Bye.